So not too long ago on the channel, I posted a video talking about some of the best ways you can earn a bunch of VC and get some free 99 overall players this year. But in that video, when I was talking about the endorsement method specifically, some of you guys still had a lot of questions on how everything was done. And obviously, don't get me wrong, I tried to reply to every comment and explain everything that I could, but sometimes you just can't explain certain things in comments and it just leaves people with even more questions. So I figured it was best to make a video specifically on this. We're not going to talk about GOAT skills. We're not going to talk about any of the other VC methods, just specifically how you can optimize the endorsement method so you can get it done as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Now, for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with the endorsement method, basically it is to farm these objectives on a new character as fast as humanly possible. And if you add all of them up, it is a total of 53,500 VC plus the FIBA Games and the FIBA commercial, which adds up to 81,000 plus, the key games and then the little VC you get from out of bounds. It is about 90,000 VC per character that you can get every 2 to 3 hours, depending on how efficient you are with the method, which is what I aim to do in today's video. Because like I said, a lot of you guys had questions and y'all were like, I can't get ejected from the games, I'm not getting my VC from FIBA. I got y'all with all of those answers. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. The very first thing you guys are going to want to do is make this off-screen shooter build right here, because it is going to start off with a base 81 3-ball. That is what we need because it just gives us silver set shot, gives us some good bases, and you're going to need to score, a few points here and there with this method. So having a high 3-ball is very nice. Now, as for the rest of this build, I did change it a little bit since, my last video, because this now starts off with a 25 driving dunk and a 25 standing dunk. That is important because we are going to use cap breakers to get this up so we can hang on the rim and then get ejected and skip our key games significantly faster than any other way. Now, if you don't have any cap breakers, it is going to be a little bit more time consuming. You are going to have to foul out. Now, I will show you guys the method to foul out a little bit faster, but keep in mind, it is not going to be nearly as fast as just, doing this method right here. Once you guys do go ahead and create the build though, what you're going to want to do is click start hooping in the city. That way you can equip a jump shot. Of course, you guys can go ahead and equip whatever you personally think is good, but if you don't have a jump shot, here's a solid one right here that I like for low rated shooters. Jonathan Mogbo base with the Baluba upper, max speed, and then obviously the blending doesn't matter, it's the same release. But this jump shot's pretty chicken and you're not going to miss a lot in these games. After you've got all that set up though, you are free to head into the out of bounds. Now, once you get into this first game, you're only going to have one goal. Win and then outperform Kobe Starks in teammate grade. All you really got to do is just foul. Foul until you are damn near at the end of the game. Now, once you have made it to the fourth quarter and there's only a little bit of time left, just kind of go crazy a little bit. Shoot your threes, make your shots and whatnot, and then pause your game and see where your teammate grade is compared to Kobe Starks. Right now, I'm at a C+ and he is at a C. I am one teammate grade above him and we're winning the game. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pick up my 5th foul. And by the way, it is very important you are one teammate grade above him, because if you aren't, it is going to take you down too far and you will get a C- and you'll lose a challenge. You want to have his grade or better. And then you guys will see after the game, we are going to pick up our 1 star just like that. That was not hard. It didn't take very long at all. And you can do that for basically every single out of bounds game, if I'm being completely honest. Well, technically, I lied a little bit. The next game, the scrimmage, is the one game you pretty much have to win. You have to just score your 21 real quick and get it over with. But on the bright side, winning this game and getting, 3 stars does give you 1,500 VC, which is pretty damn good for the time investment because it takes like 2 minutes. So, yeah, this is the one exception to the rule. Don't flame me too hard in the comments. After you have delivered that generational belt to ass performance, which by the way, you guys are going to see, I wasn't lying, you get about 1,500 VC. Actually really good for the investment. If that was the first game out of bounds, I'd probably just farm that. But after the game, the main thing right here is you are going to get the choice of 2 different teams between the High Flyers and the Union Elite. This could not matter less. Like, whatever team you pick does not matter. However, whenever you go to Europe, it is going to matter a lot. So keep that in mind. But right here, I just go High Flyers. You get, fans, endorsements faster. Doesn't really matter. When you do go ahead and get to these AAU games though, the method is going to be the exact same. As you guys can see, we need to win and outperform Jaden Moore in teammate grade. We are going to do exactly what we just did to Colby Starks to Jaden Moore. We're going to do it to, well, I was going to say Milestone, but you get suspended for that game. We're going to do it to Drexel Carrington. We're going to do it to Brendan Harris. We're going to make sure we just get the bare minimum 1 star in all these challenges. So this last one right here, which is the All-Star game, we can skip, because if you have less than 5 stars, you don't get selected for it, and you get to play 1 less game, which is super, super helpful for this method. That being said, I'm not going to show me doing all of these games because that would be insanely boring and you guys already have the method down. But I want to quickly show you guys one thing to kind of help you get these done a little bit faster if you're struggling a little bit. Because some people are commenting like, man, my team always down at half. What the hell is going on? I got y'all. Once again, same shit. Just get your 2 fouls and get subbed out until halftime. Here's where this is like the big thing. You want to check what the score is at halftime. If your team is not winning, what you guys want to do is you want to pause the game and you want to hit the rematch button, all right? Or if it's close, what you can also do is you can foul again and then see if they're winning in the 4th. But if they're getting blown out, don't even waste your time. Just hit the rematch button. Because like right there, you guys saw it. Now we're up by 7. So what I could obviously do is I could just, you know, hit a couple threes, pick up 1 more foul so they take me out for a few more minutes, and then just pass Jaden Moore in teammate grade. That game literally took me like, it'll take me about 2 minutes in total to finish the whole thing. That is not bad whatsoever. And right here, as promised, we're just going to knock down 1 more 3, and then we're going to pick up our last foul and get out of the game. Now, if you want to be a little bit safer, you can take a bigger lead and then foul just to make sure you get the win. But we're up by 11 right there. We're going to win regardless. And that's going to get us our 1 star. That is genuinely all you have to do in these games. That is all you have to do for your 1 star. You get it and you get out. And like I said, I didn't want to make you guys sit through me just doing the same method over and over for every single game. So I just hopped on a different 60 overall right here that already has out of bounds completed, but I have not yet touched any of the NBA endorsements. So that way I can kind of better explain everything, you know, in this method. But after the AAU games and, you know, getting less than 5 stars so you don't have to play the championship, make sure that you choose Paris FC Basket. If you choose Basket Madrid, the whole method kind of goes to shit. Well, let me correct myself. You can still absolutely get the VC and everything. It's just going to take way longer because with Paris FC Basket, the only goal you have in these games is to outperform the opponent in teammate grade. You don't even have to win. So these are even easier than the AAU games. And the only one you would actually have to win is this last game right here, which is the championship. But somebody actually told me in the comments, if you get 1 star in this previous game, I don't know how I never noticed this, you don't even have to play the championship. So you can skip 2 full games by obviously doing the AAU method and then choosing Paris FC Basket as opposed to Madrid. If you choose Madrid, you have to play this game because they force you to win the game before and they force you to win all these games. It just takes way longer. Do not choose Basket Madrid. That being said, once you do go ahead and complete out of bounds and then get yourself drafted, what you are going to want to do is head on down to the NBA arena and play your debut game. Oh yeah, and make sure before you actually walk into the arena that you put the difficulty back on rookie. It will get automatically switched to pro just because, you know, you were playing those overseas games and they have a fixed difficulty that cannot be changed. In this debut game, you really don't need to do anything special, but what I would recommend is just hitting a couple of threes so you get a decent teammate grade and then, you know, either fouling out or getting yourself ejected by hanging on the rim. The reason we don't want to just go ahead and get ejected immediately is because when you do that, you know, you unfortunately don't become a starter, right? You need to outperform the starter in 2 different games, and that'll be useful later. So, you know, whenever you play 10 minutes in FIBA, you can sim to the end. Because those FIBA games, if you got to play the whole time, it is going to be, you know, a little bit annoying to do the whole thing. Obviously, you probably would have made it to the starting lineup before then anyway, but it's better to just get it out of the way as fast as possible. And right there's going to be our second dunk. We're just going to hang on this rim and then get ourselves ejected. After that first game, though, you will get this text from Austin Kelly, which basically just unlocks endorsements. When you get this endorsement screen right here, you guys are going to notice a few different goals. The one main one that we have to worry about right now is gaining fans. We do not have any fans, but after we play our next game, we will have enough fans to cover all of these goals, and we're not going to have to worry about it. And speaking of that, I did just go ahead and play my next game off camera. I didn't show it just because it's pretty boring, but basically what you guys are going to want to do in that game is just go absolutely nuclear. Obviously, I dropped 119 points. I mean, you don't have to go that crazy, but you just want to have a good enough game to where they're going to ask you some questions in the press after, and you're going to choose the option that gives the most fans both times, and that will pretty much give you enough fans for the rest of the endorsement objectives. When you go ahead and finish that up though, you guys will notice that we still do need to go play some open runs, so let's go do that. So as y'all can see right here, I'm almost finished with this open run. It's at 15 to 10, and if you guys need like a method to finish these fast, there really isn't one. You just shoot threes, and then I guess on the defensive end, just switch yourself onto Wemby or, you know, their point guard and just let them shoot. Like literally don't play a lick of defense. It's just going to take longer. I mean, right there, I didn't even have to do anything. They just passed it to Wemby because he's overpowered as shit, and he just dunks the ball. Now, after you do go ahead and finish endorsement step 1, you're going to get some more text from Austin Kelly, and this is actually the beginning of the Passion Projects quest. Now, I am not going to show myself doing the Passion Projects quest in its entirety or anything like that, because it is very straightforward. You complete a step, play a key game, and then you get the next step. Very simple. You can't mess it up. The only thing I will say about the Passion Projects quest is you need to be a little bit careful in the games. Because once you actually get into the games you need to play for the Passion Project, make sure you pause your game and look at the goal sheet. This isn't really apparent before you start the quest, but you need to win the game and then also get 4 assists involving Kobe Starks and then 4 shots made off him. You can do either one, right? But if you don't complete one of those 4 assist objectives, it won't count and you will just be in an endless loop of continuously playing the game, and you don't want that. I didn't know that the first time I did it and I thought it was glitched. 2K they just don't do a very good job of telling you that. Unless, of course, you fail the objective in the first place, then it will happily update your objective and tell you exactly what you need to do. I don't know why 2K does it like that. Now that you guys pretty much got the Passion Project quest down, we need to talk about the rest of these endorsements, because I'm not going to show myself doing all of them because they are very straightforward from this point on. The next one is literally score 100 points and get 2 double-doubles. You can do that very easily. I mean, you could score 100, get a double-double, and then in the next game, get a double-double, and then just foul out. I recommend going for assists. It's going to be a little bit easier than rebounds. But then the next one is just earn 2 Player of the Game awards. You can actually simulate these games. So this objective right here, you don't have to play. You don't have to like go crazy or anything. Sim games count for Player of the Game for whatever reason. I don't think that was intentional by 2K. But either way, it works. So you get your 5,000 VC. Then this next one, you're just going to have to score 20 points in a game twice. So what you do, score 20 and then just hang on the rim or foul out, whatever you have to do, and you get your VC. Then for the 10K, you need to complete any one of these objectives on top of having the fans. I recommend just scoring 25 and getting 12 dimes. Pretty easy. And then this is obviously your Passion Project, which you're going to get done by just, following the quest line. And then after that, we finally have the FIBA Games. When you finally make it all the way through your second season by, hanging on the rim and skipping those key games, you make it to the FIBA tournament. Now you're going to notice the FIBA tournament looks a little bit different this year. You actually have a first round that has 2 games, and then, the second/final round has 3 games. These first 2 games don't actually matter at all. You can simulate these. And what I mean by that is obviously you don't have the option to sim, but when you get into the game, you can just sim to end with no VC, and they count. And I will just show you guys me doing this real quick. I'm just going to click sim to end VC, and obviously you do need to win these games, so make sure, when you're looking at it, you're playing a bad team. If it's like Philippines or Brazil, you're chilling. If it's Canada or France, you might have to play the game, although you can also just dashboard if you lose and reset it. Either way, you're safe to sim these games. Oh yeah, and before I actually go ahead and sim the second one, keep a mental note of where my VC is at right now. 120,805, all right? That is where it's at. I have not completed any of the FIBA games yet. Y'all will see, I still get my VC. Now that we're in the second game right here though, once again, we're just going to sim to end no VC, and we're easily going to pick up the win over Brazil because they are not very good. As I said, the only teams that are, worrisome are Canada or France, and you probably won't play them in this first tournament. Once you do go ahead and make it to this part of the tournament though, you cannot skip any games. You need to play through all of these, and you need to log at least 10 minutes of playtime. And by the way, what I mean by 10 minutes of playtime is when you pause the game, it says how many minutes you played. So right now I'm at 1. You need to get to 10. The best way to do that, in my opinion, is to just play the first 2 quarters. And then once you get to the third, foul until you're in the fourth. That way you can, sim out of the game. And trust me, it will count. Just make sure it says, obviously, ask out with VC. If it says no VC, do not click that option. You will cook your entire run. That being said though, I'm just going to play these games off camera and I will get back to you guys on the final game. Actually, I lied. We just went ahead and wrapped up that game with Germany. I simmed to the end after getting my 10 minutes and then getting to the fourth quarter, and you guys will see my VC. It went up by 15K. I didn't lie to y'all. You get that step done just like that. I'll even show my endorsement tab. I didn't pull some under the table thing and just buy VC real quick. I got that done, all right? There's your 3 games, and now we just need to play the final 2 to get our 25K. Oh yeah, and also after that third FIBA game, you will get this quest called Pori Springs Commercial. All you have to do is leave your court, come back in, it'll have this little cutscene, and you'll get a free 2,500 VC, so you might as well knock it out. And you know, just for the comedic value, here's a little snippet of the cutscene for you guys that haven't seen it. I think, was that your agent from one of the previous games? I think that was. I'm just now picking that up. Maybe I'm bugging, but I feel like that girl right there was in a previous game. Who cares? Either way, it's just gonna be this blonde lady in the back yelling at you the whole time. Give me my 2.5K VC. Now that we've skipped ahead and received our bans though, which I'm gonna quickly show, we can get back to our FIBA games. As y'all can see though, we have finally made it to the last FIBA game and I have played my 10 minutes, so we are going to sim out of this game. And y'all will see, we're gonna get our VC. And just like that, boys, 25,000 right here. I go to my progression, 25K. That's all you got to do. Just play your 10 minutes, sim out, you will get your VC. I don't want to see any more comments talking about, man, I did FIBA, I didn't get my VC. If you didn't get your VC, I'm going to keep it a stack. It's your fault and you simmed too many games, or you were picking up fouls early on and you might not even have noticed that you didn't play 10 minutes because there's only 5,000 FIBA. So if you get a quick foul, they will take you out and, until the second quarter. You get 2 quick fouls and you might already be cooked. So you just need to be pretty careful, but you will get your VC. There y'all boys have it though, the entirety of the endorsement VC method in 2K26. Obviously, once again, this was my second time kind of making a video on this topic, but after the first one, a lot of y'all still had questions, so I hope I answered all those in today's video. And if you guys did enjoy it, I would greatly appreciate it if you left a like and a comment letting me know what you thought. And a subscription on the channel never hurts. But it's been Gravely. Peace.